कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविताशाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकि कोकिलम्। रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेधसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीताया पतये नमः। जयत्याश्रितसन्त्रास ध्वान्तविध्वंसनोदयः प्रभावान् सीतया देव्या परमव्योमभास्करः परमव्योमभास्करः।
श्रीमते निगमान्त महादेशिकाय नमः। The Devas, under the leadership, guidance of Brahmadeva, visited Karya Vaikuntham or Kshirabdi to understand the solution for the atrocities which had been committed by the very strongly booned Ravana and his clan. Upon their request, the Lord had to appear on Garuda, on Vainateya, the son of Vinata, who is the personification of Vedic quintessence. So it is said, Vainateyam samaruhya bhaskarasto yadam yatha taptaha tikakeyuro vandyamanaha surottamaihi. So amongst the celestials, the Lord appeared on Garuda. The Devas then performed Sharanagati. Siddha Gandharva Yakshascha Tatastvam Sharanam Gataha Tvam Gatihi Paramadeva Sarvesham Na Parantapa. For all of us who have gathered here, O Paramatma, Hey Bhagavan, Hey Sriman Narayana, who is the other one who can offer us refuge? You are the one and the only one who can listen to our worries and offer us a solution. That is when the Lord understood the boons that were sought by Ravana from Brahmadeva. A very pertinent question. You may ask, Sir, if you say that the Lord had to inquire from Brahma and the celestials what boons were granted to Ravana, then how is he Paramatma? Paramatma should be Sarvagnya, the one who knows everything at all points in time. If he is Sarvagnya and Paramatma, he should not be asking this question. Remember, when a mother asks the child, what comes after C? Doesn't the mother know that D comes after C? She will still ask because she is testing the child's memory. Similarly, the Lord may ask us questions and may seem in certain situations that he himself is confused only to check if we, his children, are clear in the philosophical thoughts or not. Bhojaraja, like how we have Valmiki's Mukhya Pramanam Srimad Ramayanam, Kalidasa's beautiful poem called as Raghuvamsham, yet another work which has been studied in detail by our acharyas is Bhojaraja's Champu Kapyam. It is called Bhoja Champu, which is based on Ramayanam. Bhoja says, Kshiram bodher jatharababito dehabhasa prarohaihi kalonmilat kuvalayadala daita prapadayantam pratanvanam bhujagashayane kamapi kshauma maure nidra mudram nikhila jagati rakshani jagarukam. His shayanam, his sleep itself is only to protect the worlds. It is not as if he is sleeping and snoring like us. His sleep is meditation. It is like yoga, say our commentators. Now, Tulsi Das ji, while the celestials mentioned of the boons granted to Ravana where the humans and the monkeys were excluded, Tulsidas ji in Ramcharitmanas states, Hum gahu ke marhe na mare banar manuj jati duye bare banar manuj banar. In Brajbasha, in many of the, especially the eastern languages, Vakaram is replaced with Bakaram. So Vanara becomes Banara. Banara Manuja. Manuja is Manushya Jati. Banara is Vanara Jati. So these were excluded in his boons. Say the celestials to the Lord. That is when the Lord gives Abhaya Pradhanam. He says, Bhayam Tyajada Bhadram Vo Hitatham Yudhiravanam Saputra Pautram Samartyam Samantri Nyati Bandhavam. I shall take head on with Ravana and the others of his clan who have been causing such atrocities to the human race on this earth, says the Lord. Abhayam, this is called Abhaya Pradhanam. He says, do not worry. They have come with a worry, fear. He says, do not worry. Abhayam, Abhayam, don't worry, I am there. This concept of Abhayam is deeply rooted in one of the Brahma Vidyas. Our Upanishads, our Vedanta, completely talk about the upayam, the means for the Jivatma to reach the Paramatma. Such forms or branches of knowledge that talk about the journey of the Jivatma to reach the Paramatma or his abode is called as Brahma Vidya. There are 32 such Brahma Vidyas. These 32 Brahma Vidyas have been derived from the teachings of the Upanishads. Be it Adi Shankara Bhagavad Pada, be it Bhagavad Ramanujacharya, be it Madhvacharya, who was also called Ananda Tirtha or Purna Pragya. So such acharyas have mentioned in detail about the 32 Brahma Vidyas that have been mentioned in the Upanishads. One such Brahma Vidya is Nyasa Vidya or Sharanagati. Such a Vidya called Nyasa Vidya or Sharanagati talks about the unconditional surrender of the Jivatma to Paramatma. There are 5 such criteria or 5 qualifications necessary for Sharanagati, which is Anukulyasya Sankalpam, Pratikulyasya Varjanam, Rakshishyatiti Vishwasaha, Goptritva Varanam, Karpanyam. These are the 5 things that are necessary to be granted for a Jivatma to reach Paramatma. 1. Do actions or activities which have been ordained in the Shastras which the Paramatma desires. If the Paramatma says in Bhagavad Gita that these are the things that you have to do it. Anukulyasya sankalpam, vow or pledge that you will be doing such actions. Pratikulyasya varjanam, always abandon those things which are not to be done. If there are certain activities which should not be done, don't do them. Anukulyasya sankalpam, pratikulyasya varjanam. Rakshishyatiti vishwasaha. It is only your complete faith in the Lord that can protect you. Rakshishyatiti vishwasaha. Goptritva varanam karpanyam. Telling that there is no other means but Sharanagati to reach the Lord. There is no one else but Paramatma Sriman Narayana who can grant us moksham is another mode. So this is called Karpanyam and Goptritva Varanam. These 5 elements constitute the necessary qualifications to perform Sharanagati. So Sharanagati is that one capsule that connects Ramayanam throughout. If you see Ramayanam from the beginning, we have started with Bala Kandam, then we go to Ayodhya Kandam, Aranya Kandam, Kishkinda Kandam, Sundara Kandam, Yuddha Kandam. So all these cantos, it is very clearly mentioned that Sharanagati is that one connecting element. So for that one connecting element called as Sharanagati, we need to perform this particular act? Well, if Sharanagati is that collecting element, are there instances where Sharanagati can fail? Yes. Are there instances where Sharanagati can be delayed? That is, the fruit for that Sharanagati can be granted in a delayed manner. Yes. Are there Sharanagatis where the fruit is granted immediately? Yes. So how is this Sharanagati? Brahma was leading the entire celestials, the Devas, and went to Kshirabdi. In that case, first they have the sambandham, the connection of an acharya, of a guru. So guru sambandham is very important, that they have through Brahma's role. They reach the right person who's Sriman Narayana. Suppose they had reached me, I wouldn't have been able to grant their desire. So they have to reach the right person. So they have taken Brahma, who's the Acharya Sthanam, to Paramatma, who's Sriman Narayana. Everything is fine. Was the purpose right? Imagine I have to kill about 100 good people. This is the purpose that I have. Will that be granted? No. The purpose has to be genuine. It has to grant welfare to the world. In that case, yes, the purpose was good. To get the world rid of demoniac forces. They had done it. So, in such a scenario, the Lord said, do not worry, your wish will be granted. He said, Bhayam tyajada bhadram vo hitartham yudhi ravanam. I shall engage with Ravana in a war and shall annihilate him. Saputra pautram samatyam. So, along with his sons and his grandsons who are against the people's wishes, who torment people, I shall remove them from this earth. Samantri jnati bandhavam. Those people who guide him in that direction, they will also be annihilated, said the Lord. Now, that this Sharanagati was successful, the Devas were told that the Lord shall be born on this earth very soon. Where will he be born? Cut that and come back to Ayodhya. The Ashwamedha Yajna was performed. Towards the end of it was performed the Putrakama Ishti. From that Putrakama Ishti Yajna, which is based on Atharvana Veda, arose a Yajna Purusha, the one who was carrying a certain prasadam of the Devas. Krishnam Raktam Baradharam Raktasyam Dundubhiswanam. His voice was very coarse. It was as if the Vadyam, the instrument called Dundubi, was played. Snigdha Haryakshanujam Ashrupravara Murdhajam Shubhalakshana Sampannam Divyabharana Bhushitam. He was adorned with all Divyabharana, with celestial ornaments. Shaila Shringa Samutsedham Dripta Shardula Vikramam. Shardula Vikramam. With that power of the tiger, he emerged from the fires. Now, there is a doubt whether he emerged from the fire or he could have walked from the forest and come. Whichever way, whether he has to come from the forest or Yajna Kundam, he has to come. Coming is inevitable. Whether it is from the fire or from the forest, he arrived. He arrived with a beautiful pot. That pot was a combination of gold and silver. So gold and silver were the two metals used in making that payasa patram. Payasam is kheer, sweet porridge. So this particular patram had gold and silver. The lid was of one element, one metal. The container was of the other metal. Why should this description be given by Valmiki? Well, if he has to describe payasam, he can very well say that the payasam emerged. Besides that, why should he talk about these metals? It is very interesting that some of our commentators have pointed to as to why such metals have been used. Their names have been deployed by Valmiki. Let us see that in the next episode. Dear Astika reader, I am happy to be authoring a two-part book on the Ramayana in English. The first part is slated for release in the year 2024. The book aims to recreate and retell the Ramayana of Valmiki, conforming to the ancient commentaries and other allied literature. To receive notifications of the book release, kindly register with www.deshikadaya.org books. Namaskaram.